Hello, thanks for watching. So the question today is, where can you invest your money? So it's October 23. It's an interesting time to be alive, to say the least. Lots going on in the world. So I thought I'd have a quick look through to see what the best places to put your money if you had, for instance, say you had, doesn't really matter whether it's 85,000, 8,500 or 850, but to look at what's the best returns for your money given the options that we've got today. So it can be slightly different today. I've picked 85,000 because that's the max you can put in a bank with it being insured still. So I'm just going to look at a few different options because this is something I've been looking at myself. So the option I'm going to go through is savings, crypto, property, as in residential, stock market, commercial property, and business. So I'm just going to try and fly through it as fast as I can. So savings account, if you're very lucky, Santander have just finished doing one that was about 5.2% per annum. Let's say so we're assuming on all of these that you've got 85 grand. So savings, you have to forgive my horrible writing. I don't have to. So 5.2% per annum, that'll give you about £370 a month. That's 4,400 a year. And let's say so it's fair. We've got 85 grand today, and in say 2 years, so around this time, 2025, which is I've done that so it's hopefully compared to where the bull market will finish for crypto. Try and compare what the best thing to do is. So in 2 years, be 4,400 a year for your savings. So you'd end up with 8,840 over 2 years. So you get about 10% or 0.1x on your money. So 85 grand, 10% over the 2 years. 2 years. This is the these are what we've set in as the parameters. So this will turn. So you got 8.5 grand. That'll make £8,440. That'll make. I've got all my notes here. That's why you can see the top of my head a lot. So X wise, as in 10x or whatever, 0.1x. Not very good. So we'll look at. I'm not doing it in any kind of order, but let's say crypto. And I've made some assumptions here as well. So after seeing that massive spike on crypto from when the fake news came out about Bitcoin ETF from BlackRock, it's probably safe to say when the money does come pouring in, there's going to be a massive spike, a slight pullback, and then a nice gradual growth. Now I've seen a few people with some wild predictions, but I'm going to assume that by 2025 Bitcoin has seen its more stable. It will be 150k. So at the moment we're at $30,000, and we're going to assume it's going to go up to 150k by 2025. Just these are all guesses. This is all not educate. This is educational and entertainment. This is not financial advice and all that rubbish you have to say now. So with your 85 grand, you could buy 2.83 Bitcoin. At the moment at 30,000 each, so 150 grand times 2.83 will give you $425,000. That's dollars, not pounds, but we'll take it. Which will give you approximately a 5x. So this is going to give you a 5x or 500%. 10%. It's going to give you 500%. Let's look at property, residential. That says property. So you got 85 grand. Let's say you just plonk it all into one house. Believe it or not, you still can buy one, say, terrace up in the north. So one terrace, 85 grand, and you rent it out for, say, £500 a month. So that's 12 times £500 a month, 6,000 a year. So over 2 years, that's £12,000. 12,000 is what you'll have back in the 2 years, which is about 14%. Now, for all the property investors out there that will be saying, oh, don't do that, don't tie up all your cash, you need to split it into chunks of 4 or 5. So okay, let's say you had your 85 grand and you split it into 4 deposits, 25% each, put them on buy to lets. Why you would do that in this market at the moment when everything's going down and everyone's trying to sell houses and can't sell them. Anyway, whatever. So 4 terraces you've got now because you're super smart, but you've got mortgages on them. So let's say you make £250 per house per month, per house. So that's £1,000 per month times 12 months, which is 12 grand times 2 years is 24 grand. 24 grand, which is so 14% for the 4 or 28% if you're super smart, and you do that, so it's 28. So that's only, that's like, so x, that's 0.14x or 0.28x on your 85 grand. You can also argue there's going to be some, I'm sure the property gurus will say, well, there's going to be property accumulation, so it's going to go up in value. But trust me, the places where you can get an 85 grand terrace, they were still 85 grand a few years ago. And by the time this market stopped doing what it's due, they're probably going to be worth maybe 70 grand, 75 grand, 65 grand. So you could argue now is a terrible time to get into property because there's a lot more houses available. So the price is going down. So in effect, you don't want to be buying property now. You want to wait until, you've got to really wait till 2025 to buy the properties when they're at the lowest and then get in. So you need to think, okay, well, property might be something you want to do, but maybe it's just not the thing to do at the moment because you're going to get very poor returns and actually your capital invested will go down and your equity will go down. But anyway, moving on. So stocks was next on the list. If there's anything I missed out, just stick it up, put it in the comments. I'll quite happily have a look. 7 minutes. I'm trying to keep this about 15 minutes. We'll see. Stocks. So let's have a quick look at the stocks. Probably the easiest thing to do. So these are the ones I want to invest in. This is what I will be investing possibly. If we look at something like Tesla, I love Tesla. It's amazing. But on the daily chart, it's been going up lovely. I mean, look at that growth, amazing. And I did do some nice ones here on the double bottom. I made a 60% and then an 80% on another one. So it can look after you, but at the moment, look where we are. We've got our support at the bottom, resistance at the top. We're bouncing around. What I'm waiting for, might be wrong, might be right. Remember, if you follow me, you'll lose everything. Is for it to come back down and get back down here. And this would be a lot better place to invest. But let's have a look where that is. I keep pointing at the screen like an idiot. But let's look at the February 24. Maybe it's going to come somewhere between January, February. It might be a good time to invest. So at the moment, it's not a good time to invest. Let's have a look. Let's say we could time it amazingly well and go, okay, I'm going to get it right at the bottom here. I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit my hand and do nothing until February, March or something. And then I'm going to jump in right at the bottom. Perfect. And then up it goes right to the all-time high. Maybe a little bit higher, so 200%. So best will in the world. Tesla, you might get 200%. Nvidia's a bit of a different one because it's putting a lot of its graphics cards, went from mining, crypto mining, and now it's going into AI. So I think it's going to be huge. But at the moment, it's come up to this channel. It looks like it could be coming down into this channel, or where these two converge. We've got the confluence of support. I love that word. So this could be coming further down, or it could come back to this level here. You know, there's a level here all the way across. And then we've got all these levels together. Oh, nice. That's also a pattern called the head and shoulders. Shoulder, head. Usually the length between there and there is what would come down. Look at that, isn't that funny? So let's say this went down sideways, just snailed out into this kind of zone. Again, that's taken us to May 24. and then we're going to get in on May 24 because that's when it's the lowest, and we'll carry on this up to about here. 2025, August, September. In fact, let's have a bit of an idea. Let's have a proper look. Let's extend this out like that, and let's see, get us to 2025. We've got in here because we're super smart and waited, and we are now at, no, it's not gone that, it won't go that much further. That's great. So it only goes up to March 25, only goes up to June 25. So that's 88%. Maybe you can get 100%. Maybe it breaks through here and comes down. Maybe it goes all the way back down to test here, somewhere around there. Get the old measure out. Let's say getting right at the bottom because you're super amazing, and it goes all the way up to September, October 25. So all the way up to there. If you time it perfectly, 350% on that one. Micro strategies, that'll do well when crypto does well. It's broke out of, look at this, it's broke, it's been support, resistance, broke out. This has came down, made support, up it goes, it broke through again. So if I was a betting man, I'd say that'd be touching up here, or maybe here, and coming down again. But we'll see. We've just got to monitor all these. Again, PLTR, that looks like it should be coming down, or getting squeezed and pop out, or getting squeezed and pop down. Coinbase is crypto exposure in the middle of nowhere. Google right at the top of the channel, getting ready to get squeezed, possibly could poke out, and then that'd be nice. But I just think all the stuff going on in the world, is it likely? Like sunny, is it going to be sunny days? Whee, everything's great. War, layoffs. Anyway, depressing. Right, this is peeking through at the bottom on Amazon. This actually looked pretty good for Amazon, and now it's just on a support level there, so you have to be a bit careful. This could come back down, or it could continue up into that. This is actually a bit of a bull flag going down. Falling compression in a rising market. Look at the state of that though. That looks crazy. How neat and tidy. Always makes me think that there's someone looking after it. Just marching, dump, march, dump. So this, in theory, this could come back down to test here and then go up again. Who knows? Not me. Microsoft on its way up of the channel, coming down. That'd have to come down to here before it became interesting. And then you're down at 260 up to maybe 4, not even 2x. Anyway, waffling. Put it back on test. Look, it looks so nice. In fact, let's put it back. Our beloved Casper. See where this is. I need to do a video about this as well because this is interesting. I can't help myself, but look, I've just actually sold out on the top of this channel, so I'm hoping it's going to come back down. Hope. Right, so stocks, long story short, maybe you're going to get 200% maybe, but it's not the right time to invest, so you've got to wait 3, 4, 5 months maybe. So let's say 200 to 400% if you're lucky. If you're very lucky, that's a bit much, isn't it? Let's say 200%. That's not a bit crazy. So 200%. So you're going to make 160, 170. You're going to come out 170 grand at the end of in 2025, which is a 2x, xxx 2x. Just in case you can't see the massive X. Now let's get the mouse and move this up a bit, or go out a little bit. Got all the technology working today. Mouse, pen. Right, commercial property. This is something I want to get into because I've got businesses that rent places. We pay £5 a month, £5.5 a month rent on an acre site on one business. That's not ideal. So I've been trying to buy a commercial property, but there's not much available at the moment. Stuff that is available is super expensive, and once again, I think things are going to crash. So why would you buy now unless it was going to save you some money on the monthlies? Let's say you got 85 grand, so you're going to have to put at least 30% if you're owner occupied and you're putting your own business on there. More likely 40% if it's an investment and there's someone already in there. So you have to put 40% down. The max you could buy is, let's say, a 212,500. Oops, nearly. Property. So let's say you're going to buy a unit, and you're going to rent it out for, say, £2.5 a month. But you've had to get a mortgage on it. So let's say best case scenario, you're making £1,500 a month, maybe, which is a bit of an ask, really. I think 1,500 PCM profit. Which is gonna give you 18 grand a year, or 36 grand over the 2 years by 2025, which gives you about 42%. I think I've worked out 42% increase, or a 0.42x. So not even 1x. You don't even double your money. And then the last one, which I am a big fan of, is business. So business. I follow a guy who's like a mentor for me, and I've been following him for years, and he's a big fan of business and helps people. So I've been following him, and he's obviously a big fan of it, and he's invested in everything. So I try to follow what he does. And business is one of the biggest and best returns. So let's say you've got your 85 grand, and you don't just want to plonk 85 grand into starting a new business, because you might, and if your first business, you probably lose it, or something will go wrong, or mistakes will be made. So let's say you take your 85 grand and divide it into four businesses, or 5. Let's say 4 businesses. You've got 21,500 for each business. And you've got, so you start business 1, business 2, business 3, business 4, 21 grand in each. Build a website, got your offering, got some money for advertising, doing it all yourself. Maybe we'll hire one person as soon as you can, so you start getting some revenue. Hire one person that looks after them all, and then as one of them starts growing, or whichever the best one, then maybe you get a little helper in, and they do the 3 crappy ones, and they focus on the good one. Maybe one of them dies, the other one's only making 5 grand a month or something turnover. Maybe that one's not so good, so that's a waste of resources. Ended up with this guy and his little helper working on this business. Let's say you get this business in 2 years, you've built it up, it's doing, say, 50 grand a month turnover, you're making 10 grand a month profit, which isn't that hard to be honest on paper. 10 grand a month EBITDA, so that's you making 120 grand a year over the 2 years. So over the 2 years you've got the 240, but if you're making 10 grand, it's unlikely when you're building it first 2 years you won't be taking that 10 grand out. So it'd be maybe build it up for 2 years and say, okay, now we're at a point where we can make 120 grand a year if we stop the growth and cool our jets a bit. So 120 grand profit. Let's say some kind of services businesses, you might get a 3 or 4 times multiplier. Let's say it's 3 to be on the low side. So you've now got a business worth 360,000 if you were to sell it. So 360k. Where are we? So what's that return wise? 360k. Let's work that out. I think that's 4.2x. That'll be 360,000. Just doing the old calculator. I wonder if you'd be able to see my head. I've just popped myself back up. I've been down here, haven't I? 360,000 divided by 85,000. 4.23. Yeah. Calculator away. So this is 4.2x or 420% in it. With my percentages. So 420%. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got here. In fact, let's just clean it up a little bit. So the business will 4x your money. Commercial property 0.42x. Stocks 2x. Residential property somewhere between 0.14x or 0.28x, not percent. Crypto 5x, and the top one, savings 0.1x. Boo! So sticking money in the bank. And by the way, that's Santander account that I got, which was 5.2%. Like a few days after, they cancelled it and dropped it down to 2.5%. So you'd be lucky to find 5% at the moment. So last place, stick it in a bank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's last place. Residential property at the moment, it drops down to 5. Then commercial. Then stocks, and business, and then crypto. What a surprise! I've said crypto is the best. But what's probably a good idea though, because these are all timing based. So what I would suggest, what I will be doing, should I say, this is not a suggestion or advice, but what I would do is, and it all depends if you've got any cash and where you're starting from. If you're starting at £0, and you've got no job, £0, no job, you need to go and get a job of Once you've got a job, you need to start saving to get enough money to start a business or a side hustle. So job, number 2, side hustle, business. Then you start getting some money together, and you're also building something that's going to be worth good money in the future. Even if you've not got 85 grand to split into 4, maybe you've got 1,000 and you can split it into 250. Try 4 different businesses at 250 each. Maybe you can put X amount of your wage away every month to build a little something on the side. So job, savings, start a business, and then you can start the profits from your business. You can start putting into crypto, and at the right time, maybe some stocks as well, so it's a bit safer. And then what I'm trying to do is I've got my business making some money. That goes into crypto. And then that goes up, so we've got more money. And then with the extra money, I put that into commercial property. Commercial property, I forgot the queen. Commercial property, and then I can buy a yard, and I'll set up a company, a little like a holding company. So the business buys crypto, or you have to do it in a tax efficient way and speak to a tax advisor and all that stuff. But the business makes money by crypto or put in savings within this this company. That then goes out and buys commercial property and rents it back to your own businesses. So your business then pays rent back to this company, and then this company's growing because it's investing in properties, crypto, stocks, and your businesses are all paying money into it. So this is growing the most, and it'll get to the point where you've got enough money to get out of the crypto stuff and the risky stuff and get into the other stuff, and then you've got nice residual incomes now. So let's say you started off with, I don't know, let's say to make a chunk of money in crypto, You can go and buy a yard or two, like cash, or even like 1 yard cash or 1 unit cash, like around where I am, a 1 acre yard. Probably cost you 500 grand, bring in 5 or 6 grand a month, like 5 or 6 grand a month, just to live off. Happy days, isn't it? You're set there, aren't you? So that's my plan. So that's where we're up to. That's all the different ways. I mean, obviously you've got risk as well to weigh up, so you've got to give these risk scores as well. You could go through it and do right. So crypto, we'll give that a 10 on the risk score. Savings are pretty boring. They'll be covered by the bank, insured up to 85 grand. So that's only got a risk score of 1. You could do that, and then you could assign a little. I actually did a matrix of risk score versus returns, and then each one added them all up and got a score for each one. And then whichever got the best score would look at that again. And also within, like, you also got other risks to look at. So within starting a business, some businesses will be more risky than others. And then in the cryptos, some crypto like Bitcoin's safer than Casper. I like Casper. I'm investing in Casper, but Bitcoin would be a lot safer. So I'm at the stage where I've got my kind of savings pot, and I've probably got 10% maybe in crypto, and the rest is just in savings at the moment because there's nothing else giving good returns. But I'm like, well, sat in savings is pretty pants, so maybe you should put more allocation into crypto because you're going to get better returns. But I don't want to put, I've got 10% in CAS, but I don't want to put any more into CAS because that's risky, putting all your eggs in one basket, unless you're a chicken farmer. So you could move that over. Maybe that could go into Bitcoin if there's a drop in Bitcoin, put half of it into that maybe. And then you've got more exposure. You can get the biggest growth, 5x. That's 5x based on Bitcoin, by the way. If you look at CAS, then that's probably a 10x on CAS, maybe more. I actually invested in one called Engine Coin. Have a look at Engine Coin, and I got into it at 0.13 cents, and I put a whopping $100 into it. I think it's 2017, 2018, somewhere around there, and I just left it, and that grew to $3,500. But that was one of like 20 coins I invested in, and this was like one of the least ones I put in. So $100 in, 3,500% growth, and then I watched it go. I got out eventually, but I did watch it bleed for a long time. But it's doable. Like, so Casper, that went from 0.05 cents at the moment to say 20 to 50 cents to start with. That's actually 4 or 5x, same as Bitcoin. But what if this went from 13 cents to like $4.50? So what if Casper goes from, in fact, just get the old calculator out again. What if Casper goes to $4.50 divided by 0.05? It's ridiculous. It's 90x. That is 9,000%. 90x. Oh, imagine! Wow, it's crazy, isn't it? 90x. Anyway, let's start dreaming about Lamborghinis, Bitcoins. Well, I wouldn't actually. You know what I'd be dreaming about? Commercial property and a farm. That's what I'd be interested in. A nice farm where you can have businesses running off the farm, free energy, solar field, wood to burn, maybe a little brook to run some free electric. Nice house, families all happy, a few animals. Anyway, I digress. Well, if you got this far, we're nearly 30 minutes in. If you've got this far, I take my hat off to you. There it is, my hat, off it goes. And do me a favour, if you don't mind liking and subscribing, I need to build me some subscribers up. I've got a whopping 45 at the moment, so let's see how that goes. Thanks for watching. I've been Andy S, and you've been amazing. Right, let's hope it's recorded properly. See you soon.